Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Uncanny Spirits Club. My face is slightly better from the last time I was here. Still not perfect, so I still have a little bit of cheekiness, I suppose. Um, and I'm cold because my furnace broke again. You guys remember I did a couple videos what was broken before. This will be the third part I've replaced on it this year. Well, over the course of the end of last year into this year. So we'll see. But for now, I have something interesting for you. I was in the grocery store today. Um, I didn't actually have the intent to pick up anything because I've got stuff here at home that I'm going through. So I'm kind of like, oh, I don't really need anything. Let's just see if there's anything new, for the future. And I saw this on the shelf, and it was pretty well priced for what it was. And so I thought, well, this is of interest to the various people in the household who enjoy this flavor. So let's take a look. This is Buchanan's pineapple. And that sounds like something filthy, but it isn't. Um, it's not that kind of show, and you know it. Um, Buchanan's is a Scotch that I've reviewed their lower end one on the series here before. Series, the channel, the show, I don't know what you want to call it. All of those are probably applicable. Um, the one I got was somewhere between 20 and 30 some dollars. It wasn't very expensive as far as that goes, and it wasn't that great. But the big thing about it was a mystery, and then it had this little marble pearl thing in the neck. When you opened it up, that I had to pry out to see what it was. Apparently, it's like an aerator ball or something they call it. Um, I couldn't find any definitive information on what the heck it is, but somewhere I remember looking it up and finding somebody said, "Oh yeah, it's got the aerator ball or whatever it is, and it's supposed to." I don't know. I don't know why my whiskey would need an aerator ball, but the whiskey was not. The Scotch wasn't that great. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. Now they have a more expensive one that's like 80 some dollars, and I haven't bought that because it's 80 some dollars for something that their earlier one didn't impress me very much. And I don't like to buy things just under the assumption that, oh, well, if it's more expensive, it must be better, because that is not always the case. Um, but I saw this and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give them a try because it's an interesting flavor idea. It's something I haven't seen. I don't see too many flavored scotches, to be honest. I see flavored Irish whiskeys and Canadian whiskeys galore, not so much scotches. So I'm curious. I'm prepared for disappointment, but I am curious. Now the box is nice. It's got a nice embossed pineapple up there and everything. Little the Buchanan's logo. And what's interesting is it says crafted with Scotch whiskey, pineapple, citrus, and other natural flavors, and it says spirit drink. So technically, it's some kind of a mixed drink, I suppose. It's like a bottled mixed drink. It's a lower proof. It's 70 proof, whereas the original Buchanan's on its own was 80 proof, I think. Um, and it's got a little story on the back about it. But we're going to take a look. Pop it out of the box here. The inside of the box has pineapples and stuff on it. It's all nice. So they've gone to some effort with the presentation. Presentation's always nice. And then here is the bottle. It's a nice bottle. The pineapple is, again, it's embossed on there. It has the wax seals on the side. It's got the coat of arms on the back and everything. Real nice. From the House of Buchanan's. A whole house full of them. We're going to go ahead and peel that off. I believe it's going to be a screw top. And this piece of plastic is just deteriorating. Deteriorating. That's a hard word to say the way my face is. Certain things that require the use of my tongue and my teeth and whatnot in working together aren't wanting to pronounce things correctly. I think that's about done it. And this has the aerator ball in there. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's under that cap. Can you hear that rattling around in there? Now, before, I remember trying to pour this out when I first got it and not being able to get much out of it because that was blocking it, actually. But I'm going to see if I can try it again this time, now that I know it's supposed to be in there, and you're not supposed to disassemble this whole thing. Although if I need to, I will. I don't mind. It's just pieces of plastic. But I've never seen another whiskey maker or rum maker or vodka maker or cognac maker, for that matter, with one of those in there. I've seen like Guinness and some of the stout makers, when they have their cans, they have that little torpedo plastic thing in there that has something to do with the carbonation or something. I don't remember what it is, what it was for, but it helps for things that aren't in a bottle. And they had it in their bottles for a little while, and then they took it out. But I've never seen it on a spirit, only with Buchanan's. So maybe they're the only people to do that? Which is why it was weird that I didn't find any info from them about why it's in there. You'd think, oh, if you're the only people that do that, you would want to make a big deal out of it, right? Because it makes a difference, right? But you go to their website and there's nothing. There's nothing about it. I don't know. It's still somewhat of a mystery to me. But I'm going to see about... Yeah, and it just... Oh, there we go. Okay. It helps it pour really slowly. Maybe that's why my other one wasn't very good, because I didn't let it do this. I just took that all apart because I was like, oh, it wasn't working. I didn't give it the time. And I just... Maybe that's part of... Now, it smells like pineapple. It smells like pineapple. It definitely has a pineapple scent to it. You're not going to mistake that for anything. It's interesting. It smells like it's going to be too sweet. But I don't know.
That little pearl thing just made me spill it all over myself.
Yeah, I'm probably going to disassemble that. I don't think it makes enough of a difference, especially if they don't actually have it listed anywhere what it's supposed to be for. I know what it's called, so I can make some assumptions. I don't know why I'm doing that. Probably coming my trying to avoid my tongue problem there with my teeth.
Well, I can't pull them.
So it's got a standard Scotch whiskey color. It doesn't have like a Speyside yellow color. It has more of a darker, like Highland Scotch kind of color. I mean, the smell, it definitely does smell like pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
It borders on like pineapple gummy bear kind of flavor, which could be a bad sign, because that could be a definite artificial flavor as opposed to using real pineapples. But it also could be the influence from the Scotch itself. So as much as I kind of don't want to try it, I think I'm gonna. Here we go. Got a little clink off screen there. Well, that is something. As it settles, it tastes more and more like a pineapple gummy bear, with a little bit of bitter kind of something on the back that's not so great. Just like one of those, just like one of the clear yellow gummy bears. It's I think it's fake pineapple flavor. I can't say that for sure, but I think.
Natural flavors.
It did say natural flavors, which doesn't necessarily mean it's natural pineapple flavors. It's crafted with Scotch whiskey, pineapple, citrus, and other natural flavors. So, I don't know. It could just be the influence of the process. It depends on when they added the flavoring too. One of the things that came out recently over the last couple of years, and I haven't tried it because there's no way I'm spending that much money on it. Is Crown Royal came out with like a 28-year-old, 26, 28-year-old whiskey that was called Golden Apple because it was supposed to have an apple flavoring to it. And it was $250. So for one thing, I was never going to see it on the store shelves here. And for another, I wasn't going to spend that much and shipping to get that here after finding out that they added the apple in towards the end of the process. And I know that I've had several of the things. I've had their salted caramel, I've had their peach, I've had their apple, the one they generally have, and it's all, it's fine. I like the peach. The vanilla is pretty good, and there was another one that was really good. But the general consensus I got from everybody who did try it was that because it hadn't been infused with that apple somewhere earlier along the line, because that's a long time. 26 to 28 years is a long time where you could have put the apple in there. Putting it at the end didn't do it any favors. I guess it tasted like whiskey with apple flavor in it, which is not what you want from something that price point, something that old. Now, this was $30.99, which is probably fair. That's on par. It's a little bit more expensive by a few bucks compared to like Crown Royal, which is like usually 25, 28, something like that, 28.99. And I'm having a hard time with it. I like some of my favorite gummy bears are the pineapple ones, but I don't know if it's working with this or not.
It's like a massive popsicle.
I don't know. It's not terrible. I'm not a big fan of syrupy, real sweet, sugary spirits, and it has a lot of that in it, and that might be coloring my perceptions a little bit. That might be causing me some bias. But it does have that strong pineapple-esque taste, and I think if you were to take that and maybe mix it with some things and make like a mixed drink out of that goes with the pineapple, I think you'd be really satisfied. Make a pina colada out of this as an alternative to what they usually use.
Yeah.
You could do a lot of different things. And to be honest, there is a single pina colada popsicle from my daughter's popsicles last summer still left in my freezer. And that may be a worthwhile experiment to use that as like an ice slush base for some of this. I don't know. I don't really care for it too much, but I'm not going to say that it's bad because of the fact that I don't like syrupy, sweet whiskeys in general. I think it actually, the more I think about it, the more it's kind of rolling around. I think they accomplished what they were going for.
Okay.
And I think that's a pretty fair assessment. Would I buy it again? Maybe not for myself, but I know other people in the household that like their pineapple. And I would buy it for them again, probably. It's at a good enough price point. So not bad. Let's take a look at the box again so you know what I'm talking about. Buchanan's pineapple. It does have a nice warming effect to it. It's got a nice amount of warmth to it without hitting you real hard because it's got a slightly lower proof. But it feels warmth-wise almost like something that's a higher proof. It doesn't have a fiery spiciness going down your throat, but it does give you a nice, as it's settling, it's giving you a nice warming sensation. So that's good. Buchanan's pineapple spirit drink, 70 proof, $30.99 at my local grocery store here in Ohio. Your prices, of course, may change depending on taxes and whatever. So that's what I got. Hopefully by the next video I put up, my face will have finally fully recovered. I won't have any issues with terrible accidents. It'll just be terrible accidents that are my fault instead of my face's fault, which is no surprise to anyone. But that's it. That's all I got. And I will catch you folks next time. Until then, of course,